make peace. They may save us all.
If the world understood the hidden messages in music videos and song lyrics, they would understand what kind of entity we are truly at war with. The problem with conspiracy theories is that they are revealed to the public separately and at different times. The lack of connections between them makes the pieces of the puzzle confusing and makes it difficult for the general public to connect them and have a clear view of what is happening in this world. This video brings together decades of research, allowing all the pieces of the puzzle to be put together to offer a clear and simple explanation of the system in which we live. The video is divided into 3 chapters. First, the fake republic. Second, who really control us. Third, the Armageddon.
Marianne is a familiar face in France. She's often depicted bare-breasted with a Frisian cap, like in Delacroix's famous painting from 1830, Liberty Leading the People. But Marianne was not a real woman. She's an allegory, a visual representation of democracy, the French Republic, and its values, liberty, equality, and fraternity.
Marianne nowadays is inside every Masonic lodges in France, but she didn't need to enter there. Actually, she was born inside it. Same as Marianne, the liberty, equality, and fraternity, quote, weren't French Republic values, they're Masonic values. Knowing Marianne and understanding that she represents the Masonic society, you can already see that democracy isn't the voice of the people, but rather the voice of a secret society.
Dado que o Império e a República são projetos maçônicos, aonde se mistura a maçonaria e o comunismo.
In the first eyes, destroy the monarchy and bring democracy to people seems something beautiful. But if you look right at the history, it's totally not what happens. Instead of it, the French Revolution, world wars, countries' independences, and many other historical facts were all created by Freemasonry, a secret society that control not just governments, military forces, international banks, media, as they control our entire lives.
These days, you'll find Marianne everywhere. There are statues of her in every town hall. She's on the national stamp and official government documents. Chances are you're even carrying her in your pocket, as she's on the French version of the euro coins.
De uma versão maçônica de Marianne.
But it seems similar to a monarchy, right? No, it's way worse. In this case, they are secret. You don't know who they are and their plans. If a disaster happens, or the people are not happy with something, there is no place to complain, no face to blame, no enemy to kill, because you don't know who is really in charge of your life. Different than the time of kings and queens.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything.
What's happening in our world right now, because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing, it's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
Okay.
Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people.
Porque o Império e a República são 2 projetos maçônicos de uma maçonaria pobre, mesquinha e maldita.
For this text to work, I need to present a rational sequence of facts, to show everything from what is visible to what is hidden in the depths. There are levels of knowledge to understand the world. The deeper you go, the worse it gets. Let's use the levels of the Venezuelan iceberg as a guide to the reality in which we live. Knowledge, level 1. Socialism and corruption brings poverty to the people. Therefore, people go hungry and protest against the governments. Level 2. Venezuela depends 95% of its income on oil exports. So, with the oil crisis that hit the world, the socialist governments were unable to maintain all the benefits for the population, and the people became revolted. Level 3. The empire uses secret agents, politicians, and influencers to create more hatred and resistance against the government and people, separating the nation in two sides. Level 4. The empire applies sanctions and economic blockades to prevent imports and exports, leaving the country without sufficient food and goods, and causing its currency to devalue drastically, generating gigantic inflation, famine throughout the country, and millions of exiles, creating the perfect scenario for an intervention. Knowledge level 5. There are no right or left sides, not even an external enemy. There is only one big show, created by a large secret club society that created all the republics and has controlled both sides since the Europeans arrived in America for the purpose of sacrificing people and keeping us enslaved forever, not only in America, but throughout the world. No matter how much we work and help the world, it seems it's never enough because most people believe in level 1, some in 2, 3 or 4, where there is an eternal struggle between people convinced that there are two sides, but rarely does anyone understand that the truth is hidden in level 5 and beyond. To be able to see it, you need to put the pieces of the puzzle together and learn at least a little about its secret codes, symbols, monuments, and meanings, and open your mind to understand that there is a hidden society that controls us and our governments, and not only through humans. They recognize them because they know their symbols, you don't. Meanwhile, you are convinced to fight for one side. Both sides belong to the same club, the Freemasonry, and if you remain blind, sooner or later, war will come to your door and will have no idea who the real enemy is. Left head, Diosdado Cabello, Venezuelan, Bolivarian, Army Chief.
Nombre Diosdado, ¿de dónde viene?
Ah, ese es otro cuento. Mi papá era masón. Cuando yo nací ya tenía nombre. Y cuando él llegó, al que designaron jefe de los masones a nivel mundial, se llamaba Diosdado Macapagal. Era presidente de Filipinas.
Por Diosdado Macapagal
me pusieron Diosdado.
Te cambiaron el nombre, ya tenías
ya
otro
tenía un
nombre.
nombre, era Neil José.
¿Cómo?
Neil José.
Neil José.
No me preguntes por qué.
Right head, Oscar Perez, secret agent and actor, who rebelled against the Bolivarian army. They are two sides heads of the same eagle, the Freemasonry.
Ace. Former Venezuelan investigative corps pilot Oscar Perez appeared in a series of videos posted on Instagram.
Oscar Perez, Freemason, recording a fake attack by Diosdado's Freemason military forces, posting it on Instagram while people are supposedly shooting at him. Oscar Perez is a special agent and professional actor.
He rebelled against leader Nicolas Maduro last year. According to authorities, there were confrontations and 2 people were killed and several injured. In the videos, he said he was surrounded by authorities who were shooting at him in a poor neighborhood on the outskirts of Caracas, where he was supposedly negotiating his surrender to other members of his team. Let's listen to one of his latest videos that he uploaded.
We have a wounded man. We have a wounded man. They keep shooting at us. We're going to hand him over.
You can see that both sides belong to the same secret society, and even though it's a hoax, most people still believe it.
¿Quién nos envió? El general tiene muchos amigos. Su barco está listo. Todo ha sido arreglado.
It's necessary to go further and understand that this is not recent, but rather a practice that dates back to the independence of Venezuela.
Buen viaje. libertador.
With Simon Bolivar, who was a 33rd degree Freemason. Simon Bolivar, even being a Freemason, tried to prohibit secret societies to control governments in 1828.
Disparen.
But different of what the fake official history says. It only took 2 years for the Freemasons to assassinate him. Any leader who tried to liberate people and governments from the influence of Freemasonry ended up dead, from Simon Bolivar to JFK, who, before being assassinated, declared he would fight to end the secret societies that governed the United States.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program. For from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence in the response and dedication of our citizens whenever they are fully informed. I not only could not stifle controversy among your readers, I welcome it. This administration intends to be candid about its errors, for as a wise man once said, an error doesn't become a mistake until you refuse to correct it.
The report is that the president is dead.
By studying real history, learning the codes and symbols, you can see Freemasons controlling the economy, governments, monarchies, leaders, armed forces, large corporations, influencers, and the history of all countries. Consider the case of Brazil. When Dom Pedro first declared Brazil's independence, he was also a Freemason. In other words, the independence of all countries is a farce. They were never truly independent. They were always under the control of Freemasonry.
Eles tinham pseudônimo e não se apresentava com o nome original. Do mesmo jeito que Dom Pedro I foi maçom, e a maçonaria foi responsável pela independência do Brasil, foi tudo arquitetado lá, como a revolução também da Bolívia e outros grandes feitos da humanidade, foram conspirados na maçonaria. Tiradentes foi maçom. Tomás Antônio Gonzaga foi maçom. A Inconfidência Migares. Então Allan Kardec foi maçom, frequentou a loja de Leon Denis e os princípios que estão lá na Gênesis, aquelas frases potentosas de Deus, o grande arquiteto do universo, isso é maçônico. A ideia de trabalho, solidariedade e tolerância é maçônico. O princípio, o lábaro da Revolução Francesa, de igualdade, liberdade e fraternidade, é maçônico.
The Freemasons know this, and don't even need to hide it from us. Meanwhile, Brazilians celebrate their Independence Day on September 7, when true independence occurred on August 20, 1822, in a Masonic lodge, as a Freemason explains.
Por que no dia 20 de agosto é comemorado no Brasil o Dia do Maçom, diferente de outros lugares do mundo? Ocorreu que no dia 17 de agosto de 1822 foi criado o grande evento no Brasil, é uma loja maçônica, uma potência maçônica, no Rio de Janeiro. No dia 20 de agosto daquele mesmo ano, 1922, numa sessão maçônica, José Bonifácio de Gonçalves Neto, juntamente com o nosso imperador aí, Dom Pedro I, proclama então a independência do Brasil. Tá? Isso então, a independência do Brasil era proclamada dentro de uma loja maçônica, primeiramente, no dia 20 de agosto de 1822. Né? Portanto, o dia que se comemora de uma maneira geral não é o dia correto, porque primeiro é proclamado dentro da loja maçônica.
As with other events, all revolutions, wars, misery, poverty, and famine have always been orchestrated by Freemasonry. As the video shows, it's a big club, and you ain't in it.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything.
From the beginning until today, there is only one secret society controlling everything and everyone. Do you really believe your vote matters? Those who decide who will be president are meeting in closed doors inside their lodges because the left and right wings belong to the same double-headed eagle, to the same fraternity.
Like I said, in a few minutes you'll know that my well-being is in danger, and that of my loved ones too. Let me ask you something real quick. Who do you think, generally speaking, runs the world? What type of people are the leaders of our countries and corporations, and the rich and the famous too? I mean, like, are they Christians? Well, no, of course not. Buddhists? No. Muslims run the world? No. What about atheists? It's got to be atheists, right? No. What about a mixture of people? Different types of people run the world. Let me tell you something. All the leaders, from Africa to Europe to the Middle East, Israel, Syria, Iran, all the way to the Americas, all these people, what if I told you that they all belong to the same religion?
Those who hold power remain invisible to the public, but simply knowing their codes is enough to recognize them. For example, the fraternal handshake with the index finger on the other person's wrist. This is the general way one Freemason greets another. Republicans and Democrats belongs to the same club, presidents and vice presidents. Presidents from every country. Even your favorites, religious leaders. Or the ones that produce your favorites' phones. Everyone that control and enslave us. They control our money. The army forces and the countries. And the policies too. Everywhere we go, they are watching us. Some other codes, like the triple fraternal hug. The 3 dots in the shape of a triangle appear in his abbreviated writings, Master Mason's signatures, and tattoo.
Your life in the daytime is over. There's eyes on you everywhere, you know that, right? I'm watching you. My crew's watching you. You know your little homies? They pissed off. They mad at you, bro. Your name is mud on the streets. Oh, I know who you are.
You don't know me.
Some people, after learning all the dark secrets about this society, abandon it.
I wanna see the sunrise and your sins just me and you. Light it up on the run. Let's make love tonight.
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Their symbols are everywhere. Marianne, red Phrygian cap. Marianne. Pyramids, with or without the large eyes. The ruler and compass. The obelisks. The double-headed eagle and the mosaic flooring is a black and white checkered floor, and the big eye. All of this symbolizes the same thing, that these countries, places, institutions, economies, or armies belong to Freemasonry. Ordo. Abe. Chaos. People still speculate about when the New World Order will start, without realizing that it already began when the USA was officially created by Freemasonry, the Novus Ordo Seclorum. The first land where secret societies and their governments overcame the power of religions and kings, the symbol of Leviathan defeating God. The New World Order has been here for centuries. The secret societies, the Egyptian gods, and their curses have been here for millennia. People simply cannot see it because they are manipulated not to see it, and to believe that they have free will, that they have choices, that their opinion and their votes matter, and that there are two sides to choose to fight for, when in reality, the two-headed eagle controls both sides, creating a false division so the people don't understand that they are obliged and forced to work and follow its regime. Doesn't matter which side they choose, without any chance to escape or change it.
The double-headed eagle, Ordo ab Chaos. That means order out of chaos. It's the ultimate way to achieve your sinister goals while looking like a hero. With one hand, they create beautiful and noble things. With the other hand, the hidden hand, they destroy and pervert. Then the helping hand comes back in to save or fix things again, alternating from one to the other, while nudging toward a predetermined goal, until finally reaching that goal that's set in mind in the first place. All the while, you never knew that the same hand that's saving you is the same hand that was destroying you in the first place. Order out of chaos. Their order out of their chaos. Another way to look at it is this. Z creates or exploits a problem, then attributes blame to others. Y reacts by asking Z for protection and help to solve the problem. Z offers the solution that was planned for by them long before the crisis occurred. Ordo ab Chaos. Order out of chaos.
The easiest way to keep someone as prisoner without rebellion is convincing him that his freedom is real. Men believe themselves to be free, simply because they are conscious of their actions and unconscious of the reasons why those actions are taken.
There is only one constant, one universal. It is the only real truth. Causality. Action, reaction, cause and effect.
Everything begins with choice.
No, wrong. Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without. 'Cause this is just a game. It's a beautiful life.
We didn't choose to be here and do what we do. We were manipulated into it. In times of war, it becomes even more evident how much we lose our humanity by following orders to kill each other without even want that. Meanwhile, these wars are merely human sacrifices to Egyptian gods, which gives them even more power to keep controlling us.
Don't wanna be the parenthetical, hypothetical, working on something that I'm proud of. Out of the box, an epoxy to the world and the vision we've lost. I'm an apostrophe. I'm just a symbol to remind you that there's more to see.
I fight because I have to. I fight for us to know the truth.
Don't believe in any influencers. Many, or most, are part of the club and work to divide us. They know exactly what you want to hear and how to manipulate you to believe. And even the one you trust most may be involved. Reject any intention to hate each other. The end of this era is coming. They have their time scheduled to reset this world and eliminate us soon. And the only way is to make us believe that we have free will and that the other human being is our enemy. Don't fight or kill anyone believing in false leaders and secret societies. Open your eyes before it's too late.
They spread a little bit of disinformation to that community, a little nugget to steer people away from the truth. This is why you shouldn't trust anyone in the media. Whether it's your favorite news anchor, TV show host, podcaster, blogger, or writer, be wary of anyone with influence. These media personalities may seem trustworthy. They may seem like they have your best interests in mind, but some of that is just a performance. Not all of it, but some of it is a performance designed to sway your opinion or even alter your entire belief system. So pay close attention to the powerful elites. Which timeline are they steering us toward?
The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room.
Do they want us to have more freedom, more safety, and more unity? Or do the elites and the media who serve them want to remove our freedoms one by one? If we do as we're told, humanity will finally be united, live in peace and prosper. Ha! Well, that's what they say. Do you feel safer today than a few years ago? Do you feel more united with people? Is the Earth a peaceful place? 2030 is only a few years away, and it's coming fast. But we still have time. We still have a chance to steer humanity toward the positive timeline. The powerful don't want that to happen. They want us to hate each other and destroy each other. They want chaos and war, and ideally a world war. And from the ashes and rubble of their war, they will build a new world, their world, without us.
This is the final chapter of the trilogy, where the first exposes who created and controls all the republics. The second reveals since when and how this happens, their secret signs and symbols to recognize them. Now, the third chapter reveals what happens to the people who denounce and fight against them, some of their oaths, rituals, staged events, and what is to come next for the world. In some beliefs, there are three kinds of deaths. Number 1, the awareness of death. Discovering it and realizing you will die one day. Second, the death of the body. Physical passing. Number 3, the death of memory. The definitive forgetting by the living. The moment when no one remembers who you were. But there is another kind of death among them, the curse of knowing the truth. It is the awareness that this entire world and the place where we live is a lie controlled by hidden societies, where our destiny is to be slaves, manipulated into believing that we are free.
Tonight, all 5 horses are back at their barracks near Hyde Park, and questions remain over why they were so spooked. Ellie Price, BBC News.
You die because you realize that everyone is hypnotized and the few who are awake are not heard. You no longer belong to the same world as everyone else. You already understand the system that controls us. All the governments, military forces, economies, resources, and institutions where we live in. And after knowing this, there is no going back. Your hope is dead.
Just come. Just gonna break it quick, clean, get it done with. Doesn't matter that I signed a blood oath. Doesn't matter anymore. The Illuminati's real. I'm a member. It's how Imagine Dragons got famous. Tired of the politics. This puts me at great risk putting this out here and telling you guys this, but I believe in full honesty. And Beyonce is not talking. Chris Martin. Nobody's saying a word. So there it is. There. Tell as quick as I can. President Elon Musk, Vice President Harry Styles, Treasurer Beyonce, Taylor Swift is historian. That's all I know. In serious danger here, but I just want to get as many of these Illuminati names out as I can. Nicolas Cage, Danny DeVito, Eva McIntyre, the Olsen twins, John Kerry, Zendaya. The list goes.
2 years later.
A deep fear for me is losing people I love, for sure. That I know that a lot of people say that, but for me, that authentically, I've lost quite a few, maybe an unusual amount of friends over the years. Drug abuse, suicide, or cancer. Those three things. Those seem to be just a prevalent source of they're just like these demons that are lurking over all my friends and family throughout the year.
Countries are different concentration camps. The more they convince us to separate, the more heavily guarded the borders become in each camp, and the easier it is to control us. If any part of these concentration camps rebels, the others unite to intervene, thus ensuring that there will never be a rebellion large enough to lose control.
But it's not number one in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah. I don't want to say too much. I'm done.
Michael Jackson has been forced to apologize to the Jewish community for some lyrics in one of his new songs. They don't care about us.
Jackson promised several months ago to revise the lyrics to his song, They Don't Care About Us, lyrics many called anti-Semitic.
Last year, he angered Jewish groups when he sang these words. Michael then gave in to pressure and changed the song, but in Brazil, the controversial lyrics were back.
What we have to do is condemn it and pay the price for stating that.
I don't know if I should tell you this. I don't know who may be listening. There may be a group of people who don't want to get rid of me.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
I need to talk about it. I don't know what's going to happen. They could shoot me. They could stab me. They could frame me and say I overdosed on drugs. They can do a lot of things.
Who could do these things?
It's not the government. It's more than the government.
Trying to fight the Leviathan alone is useless for a human being. If someone discovers the truth behind the curtains and raises their voice, opposing it, manipulated parents can stop them and have their children committed to psychiatric hospitals forever. If that doesn't work, all the police chiefs, high court judges, the media, and doctors are part of the scheme, trained and ready to destroy the person's life.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati. We're a part of it. For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on.
Few months later,
a heartbroken Jim Carrey helps carry his ex-girlfriend's casket through the final farewell to the young makeup artist who committed suicide 2 weeks ago.
the army is not there to protect the nation, but rather to ensure that the slaves continue working without stopping, and to ensure that there is no rebellion against their orders, even when those orders include the obligation to ingest drugs into our own bodies.
Canadian truckers calling themselves the Freedom Convoy had gathered to make a stand against the rule that required truckers to be vaccinated to cross the US-Canadian border. They were later joined by other protesters, many from far-right groups. On Thursday, police moved in to arrest the leaders. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has invoked the Emergencies Act, which gives powers to declare the blockade illegal, arrest drivers, freeze bank accounts and suspend licenses. Police have secured a perimeter around the protests in the downtown core. They've handed these orders to truckers. Leave or face charges.
It's just a fake paper. So it says here you must leave the area now, but
and warning that anyone blocking streets or assisting others in the blocking of the streets are committing a criminal offense, and you might be arrested.
We can move between concentration camps, countries, just if we follow their rules. But never escape from prison, because everything is interconnected.
Well, let's see if it's here.
What do you think?
And that's
it's a monopoly. It's a 99% monopoly.
And that's a disturbing paradox between the access MTV has to the people of the world and the potential that it's just pissing away. Well, they said that they know where my little sister goes to school, and that
there's already been a couple car
my mom's address, where she lives, and that's scary when they start threatening your family.
Few months later.
Hi, I'm Kurt Loder with an MTV News special report on a very sad day. Kurt Cobain, the leader of one of rock's most gifted and promising bands, Nirvana, is dead, and this is the story as we know it so far. Cobain's body was found in a house in Seattle on Friday morning. He was dead of an apparently self-inflicted shotgun blast to the head. Police found what is said to be a suicide note at the scene, but have not yet divulged its contents. Cobain, who was 27, had reportedly been missing for about 6 days, according to his mother.
Many, and probably most, of the things we do we don't want to do, and shouldn't do. Much of the history we are forced to memorize is composed of lies. We need to be convinced from birth never to look at our true enemy or fight against it, but rather to kill other human beings that suffer as much as we do based on lies and manipulation, so that we never rebel against those who control all governments.
Da hipocrisia que muitos programas de televisão dão pra gente. Não mostra a verdade, o estupro social que a gente sofre todos os dias. A gente paga imposto, a gente não tem o básico. O dinheiro compra muita gente, mas não compra tudo não. Enquanto o povo vai vivendo de migalha, eles inventam outro imposto pra gente. A gente tá muito tolerante. Quando a gente começar a se conscientizar mesmo que a gente pode fazer alguma coisa unido, as coisas tendem a mudar. As dificuldades que eles fazem e que caem na nossa cabeça é porque de repente tem um zoião em cima de você, que nem tudo é Deus. Nem tudo é bondade, tá ligado? A gente tem que estar de olho aberto com o zoião. Sai, zoião. Ou melhor, vamos mandar o zoião tomar no cu, tá ligado? Você geral, manda o zoião tomar no cu. Vai, zoião! Vai, zoião! Deixa eu levar minha vida em paz, mané.
Few years later.
O vocalista da banda Charlie Brown Jr. foi encontrado morto nessa madrugada no apartamento dele.
O Champignon foi encontrado baleado e morto no apartamento que morava. A suspeita da polícia é que ele tenha se matado com um tiro na boca.
We don't like it, but we obey. Not because we are forced, but because we are manipulated. This can apply to anything. For example, paying over 80% of what we earn in taxes, working horrible jobs for horrible people, missing days with our children, partner, or our parents and relatives in their final days, because we need to work overtime, or because we need to live far away, or killing people in a war we are convinced to participate in. If we don't follow their slavery system, we are not welcome in this prison world. We've been indoctrinated to believe that hierarchy matters more than humanity.
When I learn of incidents such as the massacre of millions of men, women, and children perpetrated by the Nazis in World War II, how is it possible, I ask myself, that ordinary people, who are courteous and decent in everyday life, can act callously, inhumanely, without any limitations of conscience? The problem I wanted to study was a little different. It went a little bit further. It was the issue of authority. Under what conditions would a person obey authority who commanded actions that went against conscience? It is May 1962. An experiment is being conducted in the Elegant Interaction Laboratory at Yale University. The subjects are 40 males between the ages of 20 and 50 residing in the greater New Haven area.
Psychologists have developed several theories to explain how people learn. One theory is that people learn things correctly whenever they get punished for making a mistake.
40 years later, Milgram's infamous experiment, obedience, is still taught in classrooms around the world. But the experiment was rigged.
The victim was an accomplice of the experiment. The victim, according to plan, provided many wrong answers. His verbal responses were standardized on tape, and each protest was coordinated to a particular voltage level on the shock generator that goes from 15 volts to 450 volts, and a set of verbal designations that goes from slight shock to moderate shock, strong shock, very strong shock, intense shock, extreme intensity shock, and finally XXX, danger severe shock, Gets each answer correctly, fine, you move on to the next pair. But if he makes a mistake, you are instructed to give him an electric shock, starting with 15 volts. And you increase the shock 1 step on each error.
That is incorrect. This one will be 195 volts.
The learner was hidden from the teacher by a partition.
Of course, this was all a simulation. Nothing was really happening. But the learner made very convincing sounds of pain as the shocks increased.
This will be at 3:30.
And Milgram found, surprisingly and rather horrifyingly, that the majority of people would actually go right to the very highest level if there was some pressure from a man in a white coat who said things like,
"It's absolutely essential that you continue. Continue, please.
Let me out of here. My eyes bother me.
Go on.
Let me out.
in fact, about 65% of the people who he studied, who were normal volunteers from the ordinary population, actually gave the maximum number of volts.
This man was one of those 65%.
That is incorrect. This will be at 3:30. The correct phrase is rich boy.
Let me out of here. My heart's bothering me. Let me out, I tell you. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. You have no right to hold me here.
The next phrase is fast.
Let me out. Let me out. Let me out of here. Let me out.
Bird, car, train, plane.
Eventually, the learner pretended to be unconscious.
Continue, teacher.
That is incorrect. This will be 3:45. The correct answer is fast bird.
What we learned from that experiment is that people will actually do an awful lot when they're put under pressure from authority figures. And the problem is, of course, that when we obey the unjust authority figure, the person who gives us immoral commands, then, of course, awful things can go wrong.
65% of the test subjects, without any specific reason, continued to the lethal shock. So, what do you do to ensure that the majority follows your non-human orders? You just need to create one reason to people kill each other.
Une offrande à Moloch, avec plus de 150 enfants tués, après que les Iraniens aient brûlé des statues de Baal. Baal vient de Canaan, qui est maintenant Israël. Canaan et Baal, ça donne cannibale. Prouvé dans les révélations contrôlées, parce qu'il s'expose pour créer la division des religions. Faut des images chocs, voire génocider son propre peuple pour provoquer des réactions. Parce que la menace nucléaire, on n'y croit pas trop. Alors il y a des vraies victimes, mais les conflits sont scénarisés, parce que les élites contrôlent toujours les deux camps. C'est la devise maçonnique, l'ordre à partir du chaos. Et Albert Pike l'avait écrit dans sa lettre de 1871. La Troisième Guerre mondiale sera faite pour détruire les trois grandes religions et imposer le nouvel ordre mondial. Pike portait l'aigle à deux têtes et le 33 dans une pyramide. Le Parlement iranien est une pyramide à 33 fenêtres. Et la tribune est similaire au compas maçonnique, le même compas qui contient les trois religions dans la Grande Loge d'Israël. L'aigle est d'ailleurs toujours sur le drapeau iranien. Égypte, Perse antique, Empire romain, russe. Le symbole du phénix est partout depuis des millénaires, parce qu'il symbolise la Renaissance, le grand reset.
They know the Great Reset is coming, and they don't even need to hide it from us.
Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the times. Welcome to the final show. Hope you're wearing your best clothes. You told me that the end is near. The day, if our friends all pass away, it's okay.
President Elon Musk, Vice President Harry Styles, Vice President Harry Styles.
some songs are more than just that. They are warnings, secret codes, prophecies, and rituals, made for those who are able to see them.
Of like getting my cassette tape or my vinyl and unfurling it and looking for like personal handwriting and lyrics and a secret message. I wish someone would have told me that this life is ours to choose. No one's handing you the keys or a book with all the rules. The little that I know I'll tell you. When they dress you up in lies and you're left naked with the truth. Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. Take a look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe?
I will have to die, for this I fear. There's rage and terror and there's sickness here. I fight because I have to. I fight for us to know the truth.
He used to say that artists use lies to tell the truth while politicians use them to cover the truth up.
On the good foot! Ha! Yeah. You shut her down now.
There are thousands of lyrics and video clips that can be analyzed and decoded, revealing what's behind. But sometimes it's just, you pay attention in what they say.
My soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. It came with a few toys like a Happy Meal.
I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil. Well, needless to say, sold my soul.
Don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer.
Because I'm a devil worshiper, what are you talking about? If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there, like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. That's just the truth. I've seen so many people like for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand to get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
The chief commander.
On this earth?
On this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
You know, sell your soul to the devil.
Aleister Crowley and Eliphas Levi were Freemasons and wrote about rituals, entities, and sacrifices. They don't just want to be human, they want to be gods, creating the verb and altering the realities of God by invoking different energies through rituals and sacrifices.
And don't even worry about this, because what the Illuminati and the elites do is they take what God did and make it theirs.
Me down and they made me watch little kids get I don't give a fuck anymore.
So this is a guy who's high up, connected to every celebrity, and I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments about all of this, but let's keep listening.
They took me to the woods, bro, and they tied. I'm not joking, bro. I have proof, bro. I don't give a bro. I'll show you every video you could ever believe. Bohemian Grove is real. They tied me down and they made me watch, dog. I absolutely don't give a anymore. It's like lost it. They're little kids.
And I'm trying to be as calm as I can. Trust me, I'm trying to be as calm as I can, and I'm trying to be as safe as I can.
2 months after Ryan Garcia exposes the elites, he was suspended from boxing 1 year, fined after positive PED tests, and expelled by WBC after racist and Islamophobic comments.
Nem todo maçom é satanista, mas muitos satanistas são maçons. Então chega um certo patamar da maçonaria que você sabe exatamente onde você está. Você pode ser puxado para cima, aí você vai entrar para os Illuminati. O vice-presidente é maçom. O objetivo que eles têm é preparar o cenário para a vinda do anticristo.
Esse ritual consistia em fazer um sacrifício humano, né, de uma criança.
Eu vou executar uma criança. Não posso fazer isso, né? E eu vi essa menina na época, eu tava 9 anos. Ele falou, se você não calar sua boca, a gente te silencia.
And according to him, he had witnessed the materialization of demons. I'll read a quote from him here. Demons only materialized under ritualistic conditions.
Sei que eu corro risco em falar essas coisas pra vocês. Corro risco, sim.
Who was his first wife, Isabella Marcal, ended up dying of a heart attack in 2021. The two had a son together, who was Mikhail, who also died in 2018 at just 15 years old.
Mas ele nunca deixou de atuar na obra de Deus e levar a verdade às pessoas sobre o quanto Satanás e os espíritos malignos são reais.
Podem vir, podem me assassinar, podem fazer o trabalho tão bem feito que pode parecer um acidente doméstico.
É que a polícia investiga a morte do escritor Daniel Mastral.
Rahuka, the warrior spirit of Horus, doesn't want peace, has no pity for humanity. He sacrifices not only animals, but also children in his rituals. Sacrifice the cattle, both small and large, and then a child.
Did I lie about Seth Green? No, Seth Green's a pedophile. Because bad things are coming my way. I can assure you of that. Because I crossed a line that I shouldn't have crossed. And I'm going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Time that this comes out into the open, because at the top levels of wealth, of power, the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Seth turned to me and opened up this secret bookshelf and he's like, "This is where we keep the children." As much time as I've spent trying to mitigate risk, and there were a lot of people that I kept out of my life, that I wanted in my life, but I didn't want to bring harm to them because of all the Illuminati shit. I'm not suicidal. Is this my last broadcast? Yeah, it probably will be. Did I put any of you in danger? Yeah. Something bad is about to happen? Yeah, something bad's about to happen.
Tragically, the actor Isaac Cappy has committed suicide.
Human sacrifice?
Yeah.
I mean, we do that.
Kinda.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Find out that wars are irresponsible.
They're not just wars.
Not just.
No.
Let mercy out of here. Curse those who have pity. Kill and torture, spare not, fall upon them. From the Book of the Law, chapters 3.
Came to us who were, like sodomized as children, who were literally taken to the Masonic Lodge after hours, laid on that very same altar that the Holy King James Bible laid on, and they were ganged by a bunch of old men that were all high-level Masons until they were practically dead.
He managed to infiltrate during the event. He recorded almost 3 hours of high-quality footage, including the complete cremation ceremony.
If you don't believe this is real, read their books for yourself, or perhaps others, like the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, or Urantia.
So, Masonry is a religion, and it's an antichrist religion. And the problem is, basically, if you drill down into this deep enough, and read the books that are written by people like Albert Pike, like Albert Mackey, Arthur Edward Waite. These are three prominent scholars of 19th century, early 20th century Masonry. And all of them were occultists. Arthur Edward Waite, he wrote a book on black magic and pacts, how to sell your soul to the devil.
The energies, spirits that control this world are not friendly and don't really care about you. Sometimes, accepting this is the best way to understand where we are.
I have seen one or two things in my life, but never anything like this.
I warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone about what you have seen, there will be the most dire consequences for you and your family. Do you understand?
Oath. At the end, you say, you swear, the essence of the oath is to keep the secrets of an entered apprentice Mason, which of course I'm violating right now. And then at the end, you swear that if I should ever reveal the secrets of an entered apprentice Mason, that I swear that I will have my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots and buried in the sands of the sea where the tide ebbs and flows twice in 24 hours, should I ever knowingly violate this my entered apprentice obligation, so help me God and keep me steadfast to the due performance of the same.
Days after finishing Eyes Wide Shut, Kubrick was dead. The film wasn't just a movie, it was an expose. It showed masked elite gatherings, secret rituals, and disturbing power games behind closed doors. But here's the catch. Half the scenes Kubrick shot were cut by the studio before release. Why? Insiders claim Eyes Wide Shut mirrored real events. From Bohemian Grove to elite Masonic halls, the world's most powerful gather for things the public isn't meant to see.
I saw this ritual where there was this white altar with a satin covering, just like what's in the celestial room of the Mormon temple. And on it was this naked young girl, and everybody was around it chanting, "Hail Lucifer."
When someone rebels against secret societies or exposes their systems, rituals, and oaths, they generally suffer the following consequences. 1. Death, with or without false accusations of overdose or suicide.
The report is that the president is dead.
It's funny! Tragically, the actor Isaac Cappy has committed suicide.
2. Death of loved ones, also due to false accusations of overdose or suicide.
I've lost quite a few, maybe an unusual amount of friends over the years. Drug abuse, suicide, or cancer. Those three things.
A heartbroken Jim Carrey helps carry his ex-girlfriend's casket through the final farewell to the young makeup artist who committed suicide 2 weeks ago.
3. Public ridicule and discredit.
What's happening in our world right now?
Here's the
Uplifting.
thing, it's not our world.
This is real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
4. Career destroyed by false accusations of drugs or pedophilia.
Literal moment I supposedly took steroids. I'm not that much of a fucking idiot, first of all. First of all, these motherfuckers set it up. How do they have this excuse already built in? His fucking brother was like, oh, he's gonna test positive for PEDs. Bruh. How the fuck would you know that?
Hit single, a double platinum debut album, and a sold-out tour, Altian is broke.
I've heard that they're saying about Altian that he's a pedophile. It's just really, really awful.
5. End up in a psychiatric jail.
Has been hospitalized and is under psychiatric evaluation. Police reportedly responded to a disturbance call at Kanye's trainer's home in Los Angeles at 1:20 p.m. Monday.
I could cite dozens or even hundreds of other examples, and the lists just go on and on and on.
The secret society. It's so secret we can't talk about it. What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, secret number? There are all kinds of secrets.
Tim Russert, the moderator of Meet the Press and NBC's Washington bureau chief, collapsed and died early this afternoon.
From governments, the military, large corporations, to the music industry and film, everyone at the top either belongs to Freemasonry and/or needs, at the very least, to walk a path with the devil to reach the top of the pyramid.
You know, in Hollywood and in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick.
En Venezuela seguimos nuestro camino, no entramos a ese club, porque somos humanos. Hay seres humanos que no tienen forma humana, pero no son. Yo soy un humano.
And don't think that the leaders aren't all in it together. Even those who publicly show themselves to be totally against the United States empire, like in Venezuela, with Hugo Chavez, Diosdado Cabello, Nicolás Maduro, they all have connections and are under the rules and rituals of Freemasonry, being the left side of the same doubled head eagle.
Que inicia con los masones, porque volver al masón es como el ritual, más nada, ¿no? Y se quedan los babalaos cubanos. Se llevan esos huesos, restos verdaderos. Todo el mundo se va. Estaba lleno de chavistas, de los cuales 13 murieron casi inmediatamente después, por cierto. Se llevan la osamenta. Estuvo Hugo Chávez encima de todos esos huesos con Polonio XIV, pero él solo, con los babalaos.
The worship and sacrifices to Isis, Horus, and Osiris, as seen in the pyramids and obelisks around the world, grant them the power to control the energy of Leviathan.
Ao mesmo tempo, nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão. Bem que eu pedi uma pastilha. Ya están encomendados.
Yo creo que no hay gobierno que no pueda eliminar la delincuencia. Es absurdo. El Leviatán, el Estado, siempre es más fuerte que cualquier organización. El Leviatán, el Estado, siempre es más fuerte. El Leviatán, el Estado, siempre más fuerte. El Leviatán, el Estado, siempre.
They're able to invoke spirits that give them protective powers and the power to enslave us, making us work for them. Meanwhile, in return, they offer blood sacrifices to these energies through private rituals or public rituals, wars.
You know they eat babies. It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human flesh and they drink human blood.
And again, this is something that probably only 1 in 1,000 Masons in America understands, is that the royal secret is that you can live forever by sexually vampirizing children.
Yo comí carne humana y Kike y yo comimos carne humana.
¿Y después qué te pasó?
Nada, pues a digerir la carne humana.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad!
When they made me watch little kids get I don't give a fuck anymore. It's like lost it. They're little kids.
Esse ritual consistia em fazer um sacrifício humano, né, de uma criança.
Those two. Come on, faster! Sir, it's all taken care of. I think you're really going to enjoy these two.
Hey, Don, come on, faster!
Maybe it might be time for a better day.
So, what have you learned now?
So a new report reveals that Avicii died after cutting himself with a broken wine bottle and bleeding to death. His family had previously alluded to suicide but had not confirmed it, saying that Avicii couldn't go on and wanted peace.
Everyone who tries to stop this ends up the same way. They make us believe that there are two sides we must fight for. They staged many of the things you see and believe. For example, in the staged assassination attempt on Donald Trump, everyone remained on the scene feigning reactions. And some didn't even feign reactions. Meanwhile, photographers ran not to save their lives, but to get the perfect picture of the scene. Note that nobody fled during or after the shooting. Now compare this with a real public assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, co-founder
See
of
how the
Turning
people,
Point USA,
in desperation,
was fatally shot
fled.
while speaking at Utah.
Even with the whole story of who killed him, what weapon was used, and the evidence being false, and the assassination orchestrated, you can still clearly see the difference in the public's reactions of a staged shooting and a real one.
If the bullets were fake, that means that the text messages are also fake. The murder weapon is false. The video footage is false. Text message confession is false. I think it is clear that what the FBI is telling us is not correct.
A perfectly orchestrated elite member sacrifice, whose goal is to shock people and strengthen his ideology, as well as generate anger against others. And the media is here to help with the plan. Or since when does YouTube allow the publication of uncensored murder scenes to be seen by millions? From the moment we are born, they control everything we watch, everything we read, and everything we learn, creating the perfect slaves for their system.
This is a short-term disruption for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term pain be for long-term gain.
We're going to have some short-term pain with long-term gain.
Short-term pay for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain, yes, but we've got some long-term gain. Short-term spike for a long-term gain.
Some short-term pain for American consumers.
We may have to deal with that in the short term.
Short-term and temporary.
Temporary, short-term pain.
It's going to suck in the short term.
Some short-term pain.
Short-term pain. We have to focus on the short-term.
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 Short-term and long-term.
Short-term blip.
Hopefully this is a short-term pain. Short-term is highly outweighed of the long-term benefits.
Some short-term pain for the long-term gain.
Short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain.
This is how they transform humans who eat animals into animals that eat humans.
I'm really proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about troubling and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
Plaguing our country.
Hello, James. Do you like the island? My grandmother had an island. Nothing to boast of. We could walk around it in an hour. One summer, we went for a visit and discovered the place had been infested with rats. They'd come on a fishing boat and gorged themselves on coconut. So how do you get rats off an island? My grandmother showed me. We buried an oil drum and hinged the lid. Then we wired coconut to the lid as bait, and the rats would come for the coconut and plunk, 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 plunk. They would fall into the drum. And after a month, we've trapped all the rats. But what did you do then? Throw the drum into the ocean? Burn it? No. You just leave it. And they begin to get hungry. One by one, they start eating each other until there are only two left, two survivors. And do you kill them? No. You take them and release them into the trees. But now they don't eat coconut anymore. Now they only eat rat. You have changed their nature.
And what about our past, our history, to remind ourselves of who we truly are?
1666, the Great Fire of London destroys St. Paul's Cathedral and its library, one of England's largest repositories of pre-Reformation texts. 1671, severe fire at the Escorial Monastery in Spain, consuming irreplaceable manuscripts from the Islamic period and earlier Christian texts. 1728, Copenhagen University Library burns, thousands of medieval manuscripts lost, including the only copies of numerous Norse and Danish historical texts. 1731, the Ashburnham House fire in London destroys a significant portion of the Cotton Library, manuscripts dating to Anglo-Saxon England, many the only surviving copies of their kind. 1755, Lisbon earthquake and subsequent fires obliterate the Royal Library, the Jesuit archives, and countless private collections spanning centuries of Portuguese exploration and scholarship. 1794, revolutionary France systematically empties and destroys aristocratic and church libraries across the country. 1812, Moscow burns during Napoleon's retreat. The Kremlin archives, library collections, historical documents, gone. 1814, Washington, D.C., the Library of Congress loses its entire collection of 3,000 volumes, the foundational texts of American governance and historical reference. The list continues. Italy, Germany, the Netherlands, England again, Russia again, Spain again, fire after fire after fire. Because once you see the timeline laid out, once you count them yourself, the official explanation starts to feel insufficient. Because these weren't just accidents of fate. These fires occurred during periods of political upheaval, yes, but political upheaval doesn't explain the precision. Wars destroy cities chaotically. Earthquakes don't target libraries specifically. Random fires don't consistently burn the archives while leaving adjacent structures intact. Yet that's exactly what the pattern shows. Not independent scholars working in isolation, not competing traditions preserving different versions of the past, but centralized institutions, state libraries, national archives, universities operating under royal or governmental charters. This raises a simple but critical question. What didn't fit the narrative? What texts described technologies that contradicted the story of linear progress? What histories suggested different political structures, different forms of knowledge, different understandings of human capability? What was deemed too dangerous, too destabilizing, too incompatible with the world being constructed in the 1800s? We'll never know. Because it burned, a pattern within the pattern. Across the destroyed libraries, certain categories of texts appear with suspicious frequency in the lists of losses. Alchemical treatises, hermetic manuscripts, technical manuals describing construction methods, astronomical charts that predate the supposed invention of precision instruments, geographical maps showing coastlines and landmasses with accuracy that shouldn't have been possible. These aren't fringe subjects. They appear in catalogue after catalogue, mentioned in passing as part of collections lost to fire or neglect. But when you aggregate them, when you see how consistently these specific types of knowledge disappeared, you begin to notice a curation process at work. The texts that survived, religious doctrine in approved versions, classical literature in edited translations, historical chronicles written by victors preserved by states, legal codes, administrative records, the machinery of power and the narratives that legitimize it, the texts that burned, alternative cosmologies, technical knowledge that suggested advanced capabilities, histories that contradicted emerging national mythologies, books that described the world differently than the standardized model required. And that's where forbidden becomes unavoidable as a descriptor, not because someone stamped forbidden on the cover, but because the pattern of destruction suggests selection, choice, intentionality. Some knowledge was allowed to continue, other knowledge had to end. Maybe the world before 1800 was radically different than we've been taught, and maybe that difference was incompatible with the order being established in its place. Or maybe it was exactly as we're told: random fires, natural decay, the simple entropy of time working against preservation. But either way, the result is the same. We exist in an era where human history begins in earnest around 1800, with verified sources, authenticated documents, and institutional authority. Everything before that exists only in translation, in copies, in versions filtered through the very institutions that benefited from consolidation. Ask yourself, what did we lose? What couldn't be allowed to survive? What knowledge was too dangerous to permit across the threshold into modernity? And when you realize you'll never know the answer, that the fires made certain you'll never know, the silence becomes deafening. Because if you wanted to erase a past, if you wanted to rewrite history at scale, you wouldn't need to destroy every copy of every text. You'd only need to destroy enough that verification becomes impossible. Then you'd need everyone to accept it as coincidence.
Different than George Orwell in his book, 1984. The Big Brother won't erase and change the history. He already did.
False news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 The Heaven of Mercury, Occult Science Magic. Commerce. Eloquence and Mystery. Moral Strength. Hieroglyph of the Devil. The Goat of Mendes, or the Baphomet of the Temple, with all its pantheistic attributes.
Survived an assassination attempt. You see the gun in her face. You can hear a clicking sound, but the gun doesn't fire.
Económica y necesitamos.
Since the 1930s, many have tried and failed to kill a member of the Kim dynasty.
Vladimir Putin, who over 20 years has survived 43 different assassination attempts.
Guinness World Records, Castro holds the record for surviving 638 in total. Why none of it worked?
By invoking different spirits in occult rituals, the leaders can obtain spiritual protection, power against others, and know the future.
Maybe we should have talked about this and its implications. And what are its implications? Religious war? Global religious war? When was the last time the United States military, or the Israeli, working in conjunction with the Israeli military, killed the head of a world religion? He knew he was going to be killed. That's why he stayed above ground, apparently. He wanted to be martyred. Now, why would he want to be martyred? Maybe because he wanted a religious war. Why did we kill him? Maybe because we wanted a religious war.
Now, all humanity lives under laws of analogous development to those of individual life. It is on this basis that Trithamius establishes his prophetic key of the 7 spirits, which we will discuss later, and by means of which one can, following the analogous proportions of successive developments, predict with certainty the great future events and fix in advance, from period to period, the destinies of peoples and of the world. He knows the secrets of the future, dares in the present, and remains silent about the past.
Interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. Is that on the cards? What do you think? Sounds like we are on track. Third World War was to be in the Middle East between Muslim and Jews and would result in Armageddon.
Arranging it so that 2 of its points are above, and only 1 below. One can see in it the horns, ears and beard of the hieratic goat of Mendes, thus becoming the sign of infernal evocations.
September 11th, 2001. From Boston, with 92 aboard, traveling at a speed of 470 miles per hour.
Dad! Holy fuck! Oh my God! Oh my God! Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm the Tokyo Bureau Chief. Japan suffered its largest earthquake on historical record today. The earthquake hit off the northern coast. The quake itself did damage, but even more devastating was the tsunami that the quake unleashed. In some places, there were news reports of a wave more than 25 feet high that swept through entire towns, bulldozing through buildings and sweeping over cars as they were driving down a highway.
O vírus teria aparecido.
Em 1 de dezembro de 2019, ele apareceu pela primeira vez.
E agora, no dia 11 de março de 2020, a Organização Mundial da Saúde acabou declarando o surto como uma pandemia.
And by the alarming levels of inaction, we have therefore made the assessment that COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
In the Middle East again, does Israel play in this?
Israel was created as the instrument to bring about the Battle of Armageddon and the fulfillment of prophecy, a war that will be so terrible, where nuclear weapons will be used, so that the American citizens and the other people in the world will get down on their knees and beg for no more war. And what is the answer to that? They're going to be told the only way we can guarantee no more war is if we destroy the sovereignty of nations and we come together as one humanity in a one world government. Man, it's not the Jews, it's not the Catholics, it's not the blacks. It's these men who belong to the ancient mystery schools, who meet in secret and decide the fate of the world. And they belong to all different races and all different nationalities and all different religions to the public point of view. But in secret, it's a different story. At the highest level of all countries belong to the same club. And we, the people, and we watch this grand drama, which is being played out for our benefit, not theirs. If it wasn't for us, we wouldn't even have to do any of this. But you see, they just can't come out and destroy all of us because they need slaves. They need people to make their cars and mine the ore. They need worker bees. The New World Order He will be the worker bees, the slave.
All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
No jarro de Pandora, a história diz que a expectação ou a esperança foi a única coisa que ficou quando Pandora fechou o jarro. E aí, um dos autores, um autor grego, que faz uma leitura disso, de que a esperança é o pior de todos os males, é a arma final ali de Zeus, porque ele espalhou todos os males pelo mundo por meio desse jarro, e se a gente não tivesse esperança, a gente desistia do projeto da humanidade logo naquele ponto. Em vez de sofrer os males, a gente pulava do barco e não sofria mal nenhum. E aí a esperança é justamente aquilo que, apesar dos males, dá pra gente a força suficiente para continuar. Graças a essa esperança, que na verdade é uma esperança vã, a gente tem força suficiente para continuar sofrendo a maldição de Zeus.
Democracy doesn't work. You think the elites are allowing the people to vote? It's all perception. Because if you give people perception of choice, then they'll never revolt. Because that makes you feel like you're free. Yeah. You're brought in front of two slave masters and you're asked to choose which slave master you want to bow down to. It's the illusion of choice. You don't own the left, you don't own the right. You own both of them.
Don, under our system, a guy can't just muscle his way to the top without any opposition. We are required by our Constitution to let the voters think. They have a choice. That's democracy.
I don't believe you. Well, good. Because the real message was not meant for you. So it's better if you just smile and you dance and you enjoy. Look at you. Everything that you hoped for, you dreamed about being a part of, is a fabrication. Your art, your writing, your culture is the shell of other men's ambitions. Ambitions beyond what you will ever understand.
Faith in progress and technology, and had too little respect for nature. But it's so easy to take nature for granted because it's always there. And technology is so bright and shiny and new.
We understand, sweetheart.
Understand what?
Well, little guy, what happened was Daddy was put in charge of the world, and he didn't take real good care of it. And now it looks like there won't be much of a world left for you or your brother and sister to live in.
Are we gonna move?
Well, no. There's no place to move to. This is the only world we got.
Well, what's gonna happen to us?
It was so close to me, Mom, the death, just a couple of streets ahead. I have been thinking about our lives in the Western world. What are we doing? Chasing a status that allows to pay for needs that we, humans, have never had. We lost any spirituality. We believe in money. We can be free, but we decide not to.
Sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful. But we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
Well, what's gonna happen to us?
But what if we all open our eyes before it's too late?
It's true. You have been chosen. Make peace. They may save us all. So, go!
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was. Look again.
are the bearers of false gifts and their broken promises. Much pain, but still time. Believe there is good out there. We oppose deception.
They end up getting into the either the poverty mindset of like, oh man, if it's going to end, then let's not do anything now. And I know that's not what we're thinking at the moment, but there's something that Mike said that really Mike Signorelli, he said, build as if Jesus is never coming back, and evangelize like he's coming back today. And that's always just kind of sat with me in terms of this view, and brings a lot of peace to a situation of like, yes, this is going to get crazy, and there's still a lot that we have to do now.
¿Qué es lo más inteligente que se puede hacer en esta vida?
En principio yo le diría irse a una playa, pero en el fondo, de verdad, tengo que decirle que salir de esta especie de laberinto en que nos ha metido, una vida que no es la nuestra y que no es la mandada, que es una organización que necesita esclavos para seguir manteniendo la pura organización que necesita esclavos, y así hasta el final, salirse de esa cadena terrible, desencadenarse.
Nossa submissão ao poder das elites é baseada num trauma, é baseada no medo, na ideia de que nós precisamos deles para sobreviver. Quando não, a população, se ela retomar o poder que é dela de direito, com certeza não precisa dessas elites intocáveis, que criam os monstros, financiam esses monstros para eles nos atormentarem e eles manterem o perpétuo poder que eles têm em suas mãos.
A riesgo de la soledad, a riesgo de la falta de comprensión, pero irse un poco al campo, en el mejor de los sentidos, salir de esa extraña y monótona esclavitud de cada día, darle a cada día su propio afán, pero también su propia sonrisa, su propio gozo, su propio color.
Começou-se, desde que foi dado o golpe da independência pela maçonaria, o Brasil vem sofrendo um apagar sistemático de arquivos. Some, põe fogo, desaparece.
What about us? What about us?
It's just a ride. But we'll kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter, because it's just a ride, and we can change it anytime we want.
It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job,
no savings of money. Just a choice right now between fear and love.
The world, scarred by war, I found determination, adaptability, depth. This is Middle East, but also an open door or a cup of tea already waiting for me. I found a sense of community far greater than the individual, than the personal achievement. I found a sense of community that goes beyond gunfire, beyond the interrogation by Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, in which they thought I was an American spy. I found a community called the war.
Are we living in the end times? No, we're living in the beginning times. We are living in the beginning of a great new age. And it's a shame that I will be probably not around for the first part of it.
He's the savior. Right. All right. So now watch.
Christ.
Yeah. Okay. So now watch. Early in the film, he wakes up. There's someone knocking at the door.
You're 2 hours late. I know.
Gives him a disc.
Right.
And the guy says,
Hallelujah. You're my savior, man. My own personal Jesus Christ.
You're my savior. You're my regular Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You're my own personal Jesus Christ.
Foi então que uma poderosa tela mental se formou na testa do jovem Mukunda. E como num filme de extrema beleza e profundo realismo, imagens desfilavam como se estivessem no próprio aposento. Eram figuras de santos e yogis, sentados em posição de lótus, em sagradas montanhas repletas de paz e sabedoria. Quem sois? Perguntou Mukunda em voz alta. Somos yogis do Himalaia. Neste instante, o coração do rapaz se encheu de um amor indescritível. Sentia uma sublime paz interior jamais sentida antes, pulsando até o infinito. Que maravilhoso esplendor é este? Perguntou admirado e repleto de alegria. Eu sou luz, respondeu uma poderosa e magnânima voz.
Goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the minor.